So lesson 2.6 is similar to lesson 2.5, but now we're going to use multiplication or division to solve equations because we talked about inverse operations, and multiplication and division are inverse of each other. So for example, the division property of equality means that if you divide each side of an equation by the same non-zero number, it produces an equivalent equation. So for example, we could take 3x equals 12, divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is going to be 1. So we're left with x equals 4 because 12 divided by 3 equals 4. Or you can think of it in terms of algebra using variables. So a times x equals b. As long as a is not equal to 0, then if you divide both sides by a, we'll get x equals b divided by a. And for the multiplicative property of equality, it's the opposite. So now we're going to multiply each side by the same non-zero number to produce an equivalent equation. And remember, we always want to get x alone. That's the goal. We're trying to figure out what x is. So if we have x over 3 equals 12, if we multiply both sides by 3, we now have 3x divided by 3. The 3's cancel out and become equal to 1. So it's equal to 3 times 12. So x equals 36. Or here, we multiply both sides by a, so we can figure out that x is equal to a or b. Let's do an example problem of each. So here, we have 9x equals negative 108. And what we want to do is get x alone. So in order to cancel out this 9, which is 9 times x, we use the opposite or inverse. So we divide by 9. And whatever we do to one side, we need to the other to keep it equivalent. So then we have 9 divided by 9 and negative 108 divided by 9. So the 9's cancel out on our left to give us x alone, and it's equal to negative 12. So now using multiplication, if we have k divided by 25 equals 5, then we can say, let's multiply both sides by 25, to cancel out that 25. So this becomes just k, which is equal to 5 times 25. So k equals 125. And remember, we can always go back and check our work. So here we'd want to plug in 9 times negative 12 equals negative 108 and make sure both sides are equivalent. So this is true. So it checks out. So check, yes, this is our answer. And same here, we can say 125 divided by 25 and make sure it is equal to 5, which is true. So here's our answer. So it's a good habit to always check your work. Even if it's just an extra step on your calculator, it's good to do. So the third type of problem, similar to the last lesson, it's okay, here we have a word problem. So if you divide your camera film, well, we don't use film anymore, but let's just pretend you're using a film camera. Over your 7-day vacation, you will take 25 pictures a day. So how many initial total pictures or exposures do you have? So let E represent the number of exposures total and write a verbal model. So if we have the total number of exposures divided by the number of days, well, it's a 7-day vacation, right? Equals the total number of pictures taken per day. Well, we have 25 per day. So then we can set up our equation, E divided by 7 equals 25. Then think about what do we need to do to get E alone? Well, if we multiply both state both sides by 7. The 7's here cancel out, leaving us with E equals 7 times 25, which equals 175. And it's a word problem. So it's 175 what? Exposures. So I hope that helps you. Writing this verbal model can really help you take a problem and kind of figure out how you can write an equation to solve it. So what I want you to do now is try the following problems at home for practice and bring them with you tomorrow. So solve for the variable in 1 through 6, and then 7 and 8 set up a verbal model and then an equation to solve for it. That's all for today.